Hi, welcome everybody. Today we're going to go through how to use priming and prompting all the way through cataloging for auctions using a software called Listernaut. Today what we'll do, we'll start out, we're going to create our primes and our prompts. We're going to create a title. So we're going to go to ChatGPT here and we're going to say create a prompt to describe photos. So we're going to make the prompt concise rather, include brand size and item type and a title under 50 characters. So there we go. We like that. So we will snag our prompt here. We're going to go here into Listernaut and create our tone. So we want to make a title tone. So now we have that saved. Next, we're going to go back and we're going to do this for the description. Now create a description of the same products, include brand size, weight, color, condition, item type, and a short sales sentence. So there is what our output will look like. So we'll go ahead and copy that. Add a description tone. And now we have both of our tones created. From here, what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and catalog with photos. We're going to create a new pod. Here it is. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my phone and I'm going to snap some pictures of products here. We're going to go to individual. We'll start with lot number 1 and we're going to do a sequential auto increment as we go. Here we have our camera. Now we'll go out to the floor and start snapping some photos. So from there, now that we've taken the pictures, we have them in our pod here. Go in and edit. See the first pictures we took, second image, third, fourth, and fifth, sixth there. So there they are. Now what we'll do is we will go in and we'll add our demo description update here. And then we're going to analyze these images. So what it's doing now, it's writing the title, the description, pulling in price and more information. So here you see, just go out on the floor, start snapping photos, and it's going to pull in the information on the products the way that we had it do it. So here you go. Straightforward title, straightforward description. Now for our title, we'll switch over to the demo. We'll standardize our titles here. There you can see it's broken it down, made it short and sweet. And from here, we can send these out to publish to many different sites. But before we do that, I'm going to show a couple different ways. That's the camera options. You can use the live camera in the app. If you wanted to do a different option, say you wanted to take your pictures beforehand and train your team on just take pictures to do the cataloging. What we can do in this case is we will go to bulk here, and we'll go ahead and choose some files downloaded on the PC here. The first way we can do this is we can go through and do what is called a barcode separator. So I'm going to upload all these photos and explain what I mean. Taking a picture of your lot sticker first. So a lot sticker with a barcode, as you can see here, is one way that we can do a very quick separation on all these items. So right here you can see barcode separator. I'm going to go ahead and click that. Then we'll click create lots here. That's going to break out the lots. So it does a couple things. One, it's going to read the title, or it's going to read your barcode sticker rather, give it a lot number. So this is nice if you have pictures that are taken on multiple different phones throughout the day. You have different numbers. You can just load those in. As long as the first picture is of that barcode, you should be fine. Everything comes over, it reads and writes it. From there, we click Update Pod, and we can remove that barcode sticker because we really don't want that to be the lead image. So we're going to go ahead and remove that barcode sticker to get it out. If we want to add more items, we certainly can right here and get started again. But in this case, we're just going to process this to show you what it looks like. So we're going to X out, and then we're going to pull in the tone, the demo tone we created to get started. And then we do the same thing, options, and then here we analyze. So the same process will occur. Just a matter of seconds, it's going to write out what everything is, remove the lot stickers, and put these all in the appropriate lot numbered format. If you wanted to move them around, you can. We're not going to do that. You could move it up, you can move it down. We're not going to do that though. Reset the numbers if you made a mistake. There we go. And then you can shoot it right out to Listernaut, which I'll do in a minute, to launch it to any auction platform. So that's the barcode separator. I'll show again the other few options. So now we'll go with the set lot or set photo amount. So we'll click again. We create our pod. We click bulk. We're going to choose our files. And I have these all set up for myself here. So you can see this is going to be the same amount of photos taken of each item. That's another way you can separate. It's a harder way to do it, but you can certainly click fixed lot size, tell it we have two pictures of each item, and then it breaks them all out for us. From this point, we'll click update pod. If you want to add more pictures, there's that pop up. If not, get out, and then we'll just pull in another tone that we created when we got started. Options, analyze. Again, it's going to write out the titles and the descriptions, everything ready to go, just that easy. Now, if you don't like the way that it's doing it, you can always change your prompt, right? So the prompt is what we created when we got started in ChatGPT. We want to write things out. It's just a simple way to do this. So if you don't like what it does, you fix it. You go back to GPT and write it out the way that you'd like. Again, you can also set up title prompts so that it will cut it down to 50 characters, make it a little more concise. So that is with the standardizing using the same amount of pictures. Now, if we wanted to do it a different way, what we'll do now is we'll do another option. We have essentially there's 6 ways you can go through the process. So we've built it to really make it accessible with any style of cataloging. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll do the named images first, and then I'll come back and do the manual split, which is an option as well. So in this case, we have named photos. So we've exported these from HiBid. So we're just going to go with named lots, and then we're going to click create lots. You can see it breaks it out by the names of the photos. So that's a convenient option. If you have them in AuctionFlex or another auction platform, you want to pull them out and re-describe, retitle them because you want consistency across your auctions, you certainly can. From there, what we'll do is we'll click update pod. Again, continue. It's going to ask if we want to add anything else. No. And then we're going to add our prompt there that we created. Options, analyze. Again, a couple more seconds. It's going to write out your titles, your descriptions, your weights, dimensions, everything about the products. Same look here. Pulls in all the information. It's going to pull in, alternative pricing. A lot of information pulls out from this. So you have your dimensions, your weights, all populated in there. Again, you can change up your titles as well. We'll go ahead and do that. And then the last process, what I'll show is how to upload photos and then do a manual split. Again, we're going to go bulk. We're going to choose files. I'm going to go back to a different folder. We'll pull those in. We'll click reset splits, and then we're going to do split manually. So all we do is we go to the last picture in the lot. We click split upon that image, and it's going to split these out. Now, if you can avoid this by taking barcode lot sticker pictures first, obviously that's the way to do it. But if you can't, that's how you do it. So then we'll click create lots. It breaks out the lots for us here. We'll click update pod. We do not want to add anything else, so we'll X out of that. We'll pull in the demo tone that we created for ourselves, and we'll process it. Same process. So whether you use barcode lot stickers, whether you want to use the same amount of images, whether you want to use named photos, or whether you want to manually split, all those options will work. So really the goal here is to, empower a couple people to know how to use ChatGPT, how to create good priming, good prompting to write your titles really effectively and your descriptions very effectively. You can play around with it over and over until you get it just right, then load it into the system and it's going to be loaded there forever. So from that point, we'll go through, we'll standardize our titles, and there you go. So once that's done, all these items are now available to launch out. What I'll do now is I will launch this item, this pod out to a Listernaut here. We also have an API to HandBid. We're working on getting other APIs built into this system. As you may or may not know, the other system we have, Listernaut, is where all the launching can be done. So I'm going to give it a couple seconds to launch out. So from there, we'll go back to our main account. And pods all reside in your manage pods area here. So you'll see here's our pod that we just launched over. It's a better area to do your quality control too. So you can explode photos, you can go down the line, you can click in, make any changes that you'd like here. You can see what's written, make any changes that you wanted to add, pulls in retail price, pulls in your weight and your dimensions over as well. It all syncs with Shipping Saint. If you have Shipping Saint set up, it can push your weights and dimensions right over. So I like this title to have a better flow to it. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then from there, we decide where we want to launch it. So we have different launch formats for 75 plus auction platforms. We have API with Shopify, with HandBid. We're working on some other ones as well. We work with WaveBid, ProxyBid, ATG products, whatnot. Of course, AuctionFlex, Bid Wrangler, you name it. If you're working with a platform that's not in our database, as long as you have access to the CSV format that they require, we can do a mapping custom for you in about a day and have that built in the system ready to go as soon as you sign up. Another nice thing that the system does when you push it over here, it's going to accumulate the total pod price so you can see what your auction is running at. You can also see how many items have been listed. There you have it. So what I'll do is I'll go back to our pod that we had our original numbers in, and then I'm going to move that over to Listernaut 2 to show you just how easy it is to merge pods. If you wanted to set up a pod by cataloger, you certainly can. The process moving forward is, launch these over to our Listernaut platform to export them out. We're working on, both platforms being able to do the same thing, but you can see here that here they both are now. So I select my source pod, we'll say demo 2, and we're going to move it into the demo 5 pod. So we'll merge those two, and now it's one. So you can now see that price jumped up, total item count jumped up. Here's all the different products that we had in there. And there's your format for making quality control. So you can come in here, make any edits. The goal is, to get it in and get it done as fast as possible in a format that's good enough for your products that are under $200 to cut down time tremendously there. Can we help to make the estate sale items profitable? Can we help to make the items that are coming in at under $20 hammer price more profitable? That's our goal. First and foremost is to target those lower value items that we move so much of through auctions. The second goal is to put these items in front of our best and brightest so they can go down the line, make any edits that are needed, do a quick quality control. You may go into the ones that are based on a certain price threshold and go in and do your due diligence to check them out. Make sure everything that you want included is included. You can sort by price, so making that easy to do is pretty straightforward. You just sort by your pricing, and then you're able to go down the line and see, the $5 items we don't want to mess around with, but we certainly do when they get into the hundreds of dollars. So you can then just take your time to do due diligence on the higher price items. The smaller items that are, taking up your profits right now, give them the attention they deserve. Give them a good prime, a good prompt, and drop those into your tones, and it's going to allow you to catalog items in seconds. And the goal there really is to cut down the cost of cataloging the items that lose money. And if you don't know your numbers well enough, you might just go down and create a formula that says, what's my overhead to list one product? What you'll find quickly is you're probably, north of $4 or $5 just to list it, right? And so our goal is to cut that down to 30 cents, make that process a breeze, make it, very much faster for you to push through. And then when you get done, you have this nice interface that you can go down the line and sort by price to make sure that you don't ignore items that get into the wheelhouse of making money regardless. But getting yourself 95% of the way there is really what AI can do. It's an efficiency performance tool that allows your team to do much more heavy lifting with the tools they currently have by taking photos, by creating those primes and prompts. And whether you're using Listernaut or you're doing it direct into ChatGPT, you certainly can. So if you were wanting to do it one by one and you wanted to add, a photo in here from GPT, you certainly can do that. So if I wanted to add this in, same process. As you can see here, it'll do it, and it's great. And it's magical that there's something like this out there now. But you don't want to go this slow. This process now, if I were to copy it and paste it and put it in there, we're still at a few minutes on this item. And if you can cut that down to a few seconds on anything that really is not worth taking too much time diving in on, that's what we strongly recommend. On the items, this one namely is a good one. So you may take the due diligence to spend a little more time to create a good listing and hope that you do sell it for $50. But if you don't, if you start selling it in the sub $20 range, that's where it can be costly for the business, is really getting to a point where you want to make sure that you remain profitable. So if you have any questions about how to run a profitability analysis, what your actual hard labor costs are, your unit economics, we're always happy to talk through that with you. We've done it 1,000 times, so we know very quickly how to break down any auction business to show you what your costs of cataloging an item is. And once you know that number, you can really start to focus on your profitability. Again, using AI is not about replacing people. It's about empowering people to do better work and to do more of it if needed. So this is just a tool that is in place, whether you use ChatGPT, whether you use any auction AI analysis tool out there, or you use Listernaut. They all end up with something very similar. And what you really want to focus on is your priming and your prompting, as we've talked about in the last couple trainings, because AI is able to decipher what a product is better than a human can. It's seen everything, right? And so what you really want to focus on is getting this information into the database so that your best and brightest can then go in and quality control based on pricing. So it gives you a very nice tool to do that. So that being said, that's the demo or the demo and the training for today on how to catalog using priming and prompting. As we started out, we created a prime and a prompt, and we pulled that in. I'm not real thrilled with it. I wouldn't want to use that for daily production. So I do recommend spending more time on creating your prompts and testing them out a few times to get them just right. But based on time, we wanted to go through just show you, in a nutshell, how the system can work together when you use priming, prompting, AI, and auction cataloging software such as Listernaut. So thanks for watching.